Orson Welles told people the footage for Too Much Johnson had burned in the 1970 fire at his home. Then, in 2008, workers in an Italian warehouse opened a box of old Nitrate and found the film. It was not a lost masterpiece or a finished feature. It was an abandoned experiment made before Citizen Kane, full of repeated takes, silent comedy gags, and evidence of a young director learning in public. Too Much Johnson began as Welles's production of William Gillette's 19th century farce. The plan was to project silent film prologues before each act, giving the audience cinematic backstory before actors continued on stage. Welles approached the inserts as affectionate parodies of Mack Sennett and Buster Keaton. He cast Mercury Theater performers, including Joseph Cotten, and shot around New York with no dialogue. This hybrid form matters. The surviving reels were never meant to stand alone for 66 minutes. They were raw material, awaiting editing, titles, music, and a relationship with the live show. The longest sequence follows Cotton's character fleeing a jealous husband across rooftops, ladders, streets, and a produce market. Welles repeats movements from multiple angles and stages bodies against hard geometric architecture. Some shots look like direct jokes. Others feel like visual exercises by a director discovering how editing can control space. The work print includes multiple takes and alternate versions, so the same action may recur. That repetition is not a lost avant-garde statement. It is evidence that the film never reached final assembly. Accounts differ on why the inserts were abandoned. The Stony Creek Theater may not have been equipped to project Nitrate safely. The footage was not ready. Paramount's rights to a film adaptation have also been blamed, although later archive searches did not confirm a decisive intervention. Whatever the combination, the play opened without the cinematic prologues and closed quickly. Welles kept the material, but moved on. Too Much Johnson became an unrealized component of a failed production, rather than a film awaiting normal distribution. Once Welles became one of cinema's most studied directors, every earlier experiment acquired importance. Too Much Johnson promised evidence of how quickly he learned screen grammar. A few stills and production accounts survived, but the footage remained unavailable. Welles's own statement about the Madrid fire gave the loss a clean explanation. Historians had little reason to imagine a second work print elsewhere. The legend hardened because it came from the director and fit the known destruction of his belongings. The Nitrate reels were found among materials stored in a warehouse used by a shipping company in Pordenone, home of a major silent film festival. Cinema Zero recognized the footage's importance and worked with the Cineteca del Friuli, the National Film Preservation Foundation, and George Eastman House. The rediscovery did not come with a perfect chain of custody, explaining how Welles's print crossed the Atlantic. It arrived as an object with gaps in its biography, which is common in archival recoveries. Identification came from the images, cast, production history, and physical evidence. Film can shrink, decompose, ignite, and become impossible to copy. The work print required preservation to new film stock and digital access before broad presentation. Teams did not pretend to finish Welles's edit. They stabilized the footage and documented its unfinished form. The NFPF later presented both the full work print and a shorter reimagining by scholar Scott Simon, one informed guess at how the three prologues might have functioned. Keeping those versions clearly labeled prevents a useful reconstruction from becoming a fake director's cut. Watching Too Much Johnson is closer to entering an editing room than attending a premiere. Cotton runs the same route again. Angles repeat. Some material is polished. Some exists only to give an editor options. That incompleteness is the value. It shows Welles testing rhythm, depth, scale, and comic timing before Hollywood resources arrived. The film does not need to be secretly better than Citizen Kane to matter. It is a record of a 23-year-old director learning in public, then abandoning the lesson on a shelf. The Italian discovery does not prove Welles fabricated the Madrid story. He may have owned another print that burned, forgotten that a work print had traveled, or simplified a complicated production history during interviews decades later. Lost media stories often turn one person's memory into a definitive inventory. The safer conclusion is that the material Welles knew about was destroyed, while another element survived beyond his awareness. Multiple copies can have separate lives, and creators are not always the best archivists of their own work. Too Much Johnson is often promoted as a rediscovered Orson Welles film, but the recovered reels are closer to an editing bench than a finished feature. Takes repeat, slates and fragments remain. The photographed action was meant to be shaped into short sequences and projected during a Mercury Theater production, not screened continuously as a standalone movie. Preservationists therefore resisted the temptation to invent Welles's final edit. They stabilized and scanned the work print, then made the raw order available with explanation. Modern presentations may assemble excerpts for clarity, but the archival object stays distinguishable from those interpretations. The value lies in watching Welles experiment, not in pretending the warehouse contained a secret, completed masterpiece. Joseph Cotten runs through markets, climbs buildings, and collides with a Manhattan filmed as a giant comedy set. The material echoes silent performers and Soviet-style montage more than the controlled, deep focus image associated with Citizen Kane. Because Too Much Johnson was unfinished, it captures Welles' trying devices without hiding the experiments that failed. That makes the reels unusually useful to historians. Polished works show solutions, while abandoned footage shows the questions an artist was still asking. Too Much Johnson is not a lost masterpiece returned in the exact form Welles intended. It is more revealing than that claim. It is a work print full of alternatives, mistakes, energy, and unrealized plans. Welles thought the footage was ash. 70 years after the shoot, cans in an Italian warehouse proved that at least one path had escaped the fire. Preservation did not finish the movie. It gave us the chance to watch a filmmaker becoming himself before the edit could hide the process.